Have you ever wondered why businesses don't do well or get stuck at their initial stage or probably at mid stage? Some says it is the entrepreneurs themselves. Some says it is the government. Others blame it on systems and structure, while others says that it is their products or their customers. Welcome to Leverage. Leverage is a value delivery initiative which I have put together to help business owners build and leverage marketing initiatives, branding strategies, cultural ideologies to influence their customers and build profitability in their business. So every business needs to understand the power of marketing, branding, and culture. Also, businesses that really have a very big vision should be looking at marketing as a must do, should be looking at building an intentional brand to achieve this feat. I'm going to be putting together some content that helps businesses to build a high ticket brand, a high value brand that will scale in business. And why do some business owners and business leaders underestimate the power of building a brand? This is what is not present in some of the brands, and that's why you see most businesses are struggling in terms of attracting the right customers, getting the right leads, and all what have you. So I am going to be talking about what branding is not and also what branding is, so that you can understand that building a brand is not just an activity, it's a business tool that you should get into before it is too late, so that it can help you to position your brand in the mind of the customers. So I'm going to start with what branding is not. That is, when you think about building a brand. So a brand is not your company name. Try to understand the difference between your company name and your brand. Your company name is not your brand. You could have a company name and you don't have a brand. All right? The second one is that your brand is not your mission statement. So your mission statement is actually how you want to get to where you're going. Okay? So that is not branding. The other one is that your brand is not a trademark. Okay? A trademark is just a legal property, which is important when you are building a brand, but that is not the brand in itself. All right? Then your brand is not a product or services. These are the tangibles that people get to relate with when it comes to your brand. All right? Then your brand is not even a logo. It's not your logo. It's not your slogan or anything. These are just your signatures. These are still the tangibles that people see when they relate with your brand. So a brand is not your business card. A brand is not your letterhead. These are all stationaries. All right? And also, lastly, your brand is not an advertisement, because advertisement is just to deliver the message of your brand. All right? So if you have been thinking that probably if I have any of this, I already have a brand. No, that is not what your brand is. You need to sit and to intentionally craft a brand which will now be the foundation of what you stand for. So if you would ask me, what is branding? What is brand building? So brand building are the conscious efforts you put in place for people to know you, like you, and understand what you do. All right, so what is a brand? A brand is a competitive advantage. When I say competitive advantage, this is a tool for creating economy and sustaining competitive value. Okay, so this is a unique identifier. That's why it's called a competitive advantage. It gives you an edge If you build your brand well, it gives you an edge in your industry. Then the second one is that a brand is customer value. So what are you ready to deliver as a brand? What you deliver, the experience you curate and deliver to clients is actually what is called the customer value. So this in itself is your brand. Your brand is also a point of view. What's your point of view? What's your frame of reference? How do you see things differently? That is your point of view. What single-handedly differentiates your point of view from others? That is your brand. Also, your brand has a soul. It comes alive. Okay? It lives in the hearts and minds of the people. Your brand has to be engineered into a strategy that will give a holistic idea about what you want to stand for, how you want to be perceived. Okay? When you are doing a strategic brand planning, how do you engineer your brand to be able to different from other brands? This is what makes you a brand. Your brand is who you are. Okay? Your brand is who you are. Your brand is what you stand for. Your brand is how do I want to differentiate myself from others. Okay? So those are the different. I'm sure that you understand what a brand is and what a brand is not. I am Taiwo Sowore, Africa's foremost brand virtuoso. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.